Hello everyone, this is John Moore with the Appalachian Channel, and I'm excited to be back in the community of Hartman, just outside of Danbury, North Carolina, with Jane here at Priddy's General Store. And we're going to be filming all day today and talking to some of the customers and talking to Jane and seeing some of the things she's got going on here on this Saturday. And we've been here, this is our third video, I believe, and they're getting ready to do Bible study here in a few minutes, and we're going to get to meet some fine folks that live around here. Maybe some people coming through to visit today for, you know, never maybe been here before. So make sure to leave us all a comment, and let's go inside and see what's going on. You ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. All right, guys. I wanted to show you a little bit more of the stuff that's in here, because Priddy's is one of the true general stores. Over the years, so many of the old general stores had to convert into restaurants in order to stay open, because you know you've got all the big chain stores and all the dollar stores and Family Dollars and all that stuff that's popped up everywhere, even out in the country places. So so many of the places actually quit selling general merchandise, and maybe has a few souvenirs and a few things, but you've actually got bread and food here that they can buy and different things. We're going to walk down the aisle and show them a little bit of that. Okay?
Well, yeah, I think that, like what you said, kind of makes it cool. And what people like to see is you get to see like things that were sold here back in the day that are kind of intermingled in what we would call antiques. And you know the old book matches. You know, we still sell a few of those, and the old corncob pipes. That's still kind of a tourist thing. You got this is a little matchbox holder here. And wicks for oil lamps. You have your antique stuff, but you also have what I call new-teak stuff. You got globes for your lanterns. These are little universal burners that you can replace. Then we've got like outdoor lanterns, and we have campers around here, propane. Again, things are kind of intermingled in with the antique stuff, but the little corn holders. And I love the cardboard stuff, that like this is an old display that I kept, that I put the old corncob pipes on. Now these pipes are not made in Missouri. It's not the Missouri company, but I love the old cardboard advertisings that I kind of hold on to and keep. And so intermingled back in here is a box of skeleton keys that you sell every now and then. That's again, general merchandise and things like that, intermingled in with your antique, new-teak kind of stuff. Let's see here.
Here's some of your coffee cups.
Right.
They got your name on them, and
gotta have a good cup of coffee.
Are those made in North Carolina, you
Yes,
think?
Lexington Missions Pottery makes those for us, and they're in Lexington, North Carolina.
And that's one of the things you carry a lot of, is local made stuff.
Yes, I try to do as much of that as possible. So now I'm out of the old elixirs that used to be sold. I've got some of the old glass bottles again that people like to buy, but we've got some kind of this elixir that's it's an Amish made, good health, properties and things in it. Bottle pop openers, from Lodge, the little honey dippers. And then, we had some medicinal property things over here. Again, when the Dollar Generals and things like that open, we didn't sell a whole lot of this stuff. And as I was saying you earlier, a lot of this stuff I keep here because I personally use it, but I have it because we have campers, and every now and then they'll forget things like you got alcohol, peroxide, mineral oil, Band-Aids, Brillo pads, cleaning items, again, things that, that's what I love about it. I don't have to go really anywhere and get anything. I have everything that I need here for the most part, to make things work. And of course, it's a general store, and people came here for everything, and we still do the dried beans. Of course, the most popular are the pinto beans. I love this old scooper. It's probably from my grandparents' days, but we still sell the new crop pinto beans. So we don't want that tomato in there. But when we get local tomatoes up here, I usually have the local farmers' tomatoes and things in there. But we have lentils and black beans and anasazi beans that we added. Normally it was just the pinto beans that we sold.
Now what is people, I asked you about the black beans. How are they cooking them? What's that for? What type of meal?
So, the beans, you just soak them and cook them, and
like
it's just a
pinto beans?
Yeah. I would tell people just to cook them and season them the same way. And a lot of people here love to use fat back, like the fry it up for the grease and put it in there and season it. Or you can use bacon. But any of these beans, now for me, I cook them the same way that I do a pinto bean. Yeah. Yes.
So I'm not familiar with them. Now, what was this right here?
So this is an Anasazi bean. And I found out about these almost 2 years ago. I don't know how I came about knowing them, but they were a Native American bean. And they were discovered in a cave in New Mexico. And I did a little research on them, and these beans target cancer, diabetes, inflammation. It has a lot of vitamins in it. And I was like, wow. I'm like, these beans sound like a miracle bean. That's, what do people go to the doctor for? Mainly diabetes, inflammation, cancer. And I'm like, if this bean can help strengthen your body to prevent it, I'm like, why did it take me 58 years to find out about Anasazi beans, But yeah, so the old-fashioned candies, I mean, again, this store, we keep Christmas out all year long. It used to be a seasonal thing, but everybody would come in there, would get their candies and their foods. And again, they didn't buy a lot of jarred items and things. I mean, they might come in for their beans and cheese and things like that, but most everybody on the farm, had their cows and their pigs and chickens and eggs and things like that. They raised it on. I mean, we don't sell a whole lot more of these things. We do this is mostly sell pork and beans here. Again, these are things here, just basically just for people to kind of camping, basically is what I sell. I forgot, I went to the grocery store and I forgot ketchup. They're coming for some ketchup. Of course, the Lodge cast iron, the cookware, Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, they sold a lot of cookware in here, in the old, like the granite ware, coffee pots, the old-fashioned percolators. We still have a few families that use those, but mainly campers now use those. And again, of course, all the Lodge and everything, and that's what most people all cooked in the Dutch ovens and things like that. Our brooms, these old-fashioned brooms. We sell a lot of these. They're lightweight. You enjoy sweeping when you sweep with these brooms. Like I said, they're so lightweight. And
is that for eggs?
That's an egg ring, so that you can put your egg in there to be a perfect circle, like if you're making your little muffin or something like that. And of course, the sandwiches, the bologna and things like that was always something that you sold here. Some socks. I mean, it's just a few things that general stores have that people, you find that they'll buy. I can't stock everything, but socks and gloves and toboggans, things like that. We sell some work boots. We sell, again, here's some of the toboggans. These are locally made by a local girl. And wow, I didn't know that was one of the scissors was laying in there. But, coats you can find. This was a good friend of my mom's. She moved into an assisted living. I just bought this cedar wardrobe. Took the doors off and turned it into a display for our coats, our winter coats. We sell, a few of those hats, when you're out farming and our farm hats and cowboy hat. We sell a lot of cowboy hats. And
got a lot of shirts, looks like, the Priddy shirts.
Yeah, got a lot of, Priddy's gear, as I would call it, yeah. And, we sold a lot of sewing notions. I mean, the ladies sewed a lot, and I still have a lot of leftover stuff, some seam bonding and stuff, notions like that. Sold a lot of the old buttons. There was buttons that were sold in here. And
let's back up there just a minute. Let's talk about that word notions. I've seen that on some of the buildings before. What's that include?
I don't know. That's got to research that one. I've just seen it too, when especially with sewing items. I think I've seen that word. It just kind of falls in there,
I've seen it on some of the old general stores, so the notions, and I guess that may be.
We need to look that up.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look that up.
Maybe some people knows and leave us a comment.
Yeah,
let us know.
Yeah.
You called it notions on the sewing stuff, so it may be.
And I don't know. It might be like notions. Might be an old day term for what we would call accessories.
Okay.
Who knows? I don't know. It'll be interesting. Thermometers, you know, we got some thermometers again. Shoe strings, boot strings, shoe polish, saddle soap. And here's the old display. This is so cool for the shoelaces, you know. We don't really sell any shoelaces out of there. You know, the men wore those slippers with the little shoestrings, and so, and I've got like boot polish and neat foot oil and stuff up here to, you know, keep your leather in good condition. Of course, overalls, huge staple here. Always sold clothing, overalls. You know, men bought overalls. Ladies, of course, use the feed sacks to make their dresses, and we never really sold dresses. They did sell like some sleepwear, like some ladies' gowns and things like that. And my mom and daddy still sold kind of pajamas and gowns and things when they were running the store. But coonskin hats, I mean, again, they made their own coonskin hats around here, but now, you know, you buy them and you sell them. Belts, again, just some basic things, you know. And then, of course, we've got this little rack right here is like some kind of the hardware stuff. We sell a lot of rain gauges. I don't really sell any more gaskets and things for Briggs and Stratton engines, you know, since Dad passed away. He was the small engine repair guy, but, you know, every now and then, you know, you try to keep one of everything in hardware, but my gosh, you spend a fortune on inventory with hardware, so you just have some of the basic things. You can get your spark plugs here for your weed eaters and your lawnmowers, water filters, because we have, you know, a lot of wells right here, light bulbs, duct tape, you know, spray paint, some motor oil. Of course, this has been covered up by the new stuff, but again, we sell some Fix-A-Flat and some motor oil from time to time. But again, not a lot, but it's still here if somebody needs it. I hate it when somebody comes in, they need something, and I don't have it. Something that I should have on the shelf. And it's hard to keep up. I'm out of JB Weld right now. We still sell some of that. So hopefully nobody will come in before I get a hardware order in. WD-40 is a big seller. You got some Hot Shot, you know, some 7 Dust to keep bugs off your plants. Then you got some seed. We sell a few seed, you know, bird seed. And then, of course, all of this is intermingled in with all my dad's little filing systems for all the little small parts for his big Briggs and Strattons, you know, and he had the model part numbers and everything on them. And that, you know, it's kind of funny. It's like, and what you're saying, and I appreciate you noticing that, but I tell people this section does not earn, you know, it doesn't pay its rent, you know. And I think, you know, maybe I could put some books or something in here and try to figure out how to maybe put more things in here that would benefit the store as far as revenue flow, but still keep the character of it, because again, they love seeing how it was, and you got to find that balance there. You know, paintbrushes, you know, every now and then, but not a lot. I mean, I might sell a paintbrush once, twice a year or something. It's just, you know, but we still got some farmers, and we just never know what tomorrow holds. And I've got this stuff, and it's here, and as long as I can keep getting it, we don't ever know what might happen. They may need these little general stores again to get those supplies. They may not be able to get to Lowe's or Tractor Supply, you know. And again, we sit back at the round table back there now, but this was the gathering corner here. So there were chairs sitting here and pop crates. So when everybody would come and hang out, they would hang out here. They call it the gossip corner. Or this is where they solved a lot of the world's problems. And again, things kind of change a little bit, and you know, we got more popular with the sandwiches, and I had a fella give me that round table back there, but you know, now we sit back there. But it would be nice. I would love to have, it's like I would like to have the sandwich counter up here, you know, have like a little bar area and let people kind of sit at the bar, because it's light up here. I feel like it's dark back there, and I like the light. So I don't know, like I said, I have all these dreams, but the daily end of ordering and stocking and just waiting on the customers takes up the majority of my time, and restocking the drink box at the end of the day and such. But yeah, and on the other side that I haven't let you in, and maybe one of these days I'll let you in, there's bolts and nuts over there, and nails. And we got some plumbing parts, a few things, you know. But 2-cycle engine oil is probably what I sell most of as far as like engine stuff, and for the weed eater line. We didn't show you that over there, but again, it's nice to be able to come in here and have what I need if I need something. So by taking care of little old me, I'm taking care of everybody else. But
did the store ever sell gasoline?
Oh yes, yeah. The gas tanks were out front, but we haven't sold gas here since 1993. Yeah, when all the underground storage tank issues came up and things like that. We still sell, now we used to sell a lot of old timer knives, and I've got another display back there, but we still sell some pocket knives, especially at Christmas time. The Bloom's almanacs, you know, for a planning guide. And these are things that were always sold in here. I tell you something else that you don't see and you sell a whole lot. See if I've got, oh yeah. So we talked with some of the tobacco farmers. You know, this is a tobacco thermometer, which lets you know the temperatures that it needs to be for drying or yellowing and things like that. So we still sell these, and these were always sold in here, you know, when I was growing up. So
I always thought, I think it's interesting of all the new old stock that you've got, what I call new old stock that's been here for 20, 30 years. It's still here. Never was sold. I noticed you got
these old drink cartons right here, really cool. Yeah.
I see you've got a mini washboard, but you got a regular size washboard in the back. Now, are people buying them just to decorate with? I'm sure.
So yeah, but as a matter of fact, I had a young couple come in here a few weeks ago, and they literally bought the big one of the big ones, and she wanted to use it. I couldn't believe it, because a lot of people, again, they buy these, they hang them up on the wall, and then they can display like little magnets and things on them, and it's decorative. I haven't
thought about that.
Yeah.
So what does something like that sell for?
That's $11.59 for the small one.
Okay.
And then again, it's just something as a memory of a bygone days, you know, of how they, you know, when the kids come in, we talk about washing machines, and that this was the first washing machine. You know, it's like, how would you like to have to wash your clothes and wet them and scrub them on this to get the things out? You know, enamelware. We used to sell a lot of this. You know what that is?
Yes, I know what that is.
Chamber pot, they call it.
Chamber pot.
Yeah.
Now, what's this say on here? What's this?
So it's full of like old zinc lids.
Okay.
Yeah. Just again, things get in here, and again, we get so busy with everything else, it just kind of stays in place. So it's.
Now here's something I saw you sell a little while ago, and I'm like, where'd that come from?
Oh, canning jars. Yeah. We still sell quite a few canning jars, and you know, again, seed and spices.
Now what's in all these drawers down there? Just extra stock, or what you keep in that? Junk?
Memories.
Memories?
It's full of memories.
So stuff from the store's past, huh?
Yeah.
There's a lot of drawers down through there.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's just memories in here. Old stuff that I just wanted to hold on to. That's an old double mint gum box. Some old Prince Albert cans. Some old Life magazines. People just give me things, and then there's things from the store. This is a family farm that's up. They're out of Connecticut. They have a family farm of apple trees, and oh, here's an old. So, you know how like you go in a store and shop, and you would get little stamps. This is the stamp dispenser right here. So if you bought $10 worth of merchandise, you get $10 worth of little family stamps. And you would put the little stamps inside here and fill it up. And there was a catalog that you could order things from.
Now, did the store that Priddy's get the stamps out?
The lady's name was Mary Long. My mom and Mary Long were really, really good friends and kept in touch. She's passed away, but so there would be. I remember these stacks, and she would come pick them up, and then she would bring the goods back and deliver the goods that they had chose to, you know, from their coupon. So we had a little rewards program up here back in the day, if you could, but it was through, you know, that company there. But this is something that's old. It's kind of cool. I mean, we used to dye eggs, and that's one of the old Pa's egg coloring kits. Again, I'm just in my childhood, just reminiscing. These things just are reminders of it, and it's a happy place. It's a happy place. And we still sell, like, the pickling salt and some of the canning lids, the Sure Gel for canning sets.
Now, where are you weighing these beans out that you're selling? You still using this scale back here on the steps?
I just weigh them up front.
You got scale up there.
So that scale right there, I just use that for like the seeds because it's very intricate. You can do down to the ounces on it. That one up there, when it's really small, let's pick that up here. But we weigh our candy and stuff on it, but it's a balancing scale. So you have like a little 1 ouncer on here. I mean, if you was only doing a 1/4 of an ounce or 1/2 an ounce, you didn't have to put the little weight on there. But if you wanted a whole ounce, you'd balance it at 0, and it goes all the way up to a whole pound. So, like I said, we use this for the candy, which is it's very convenient. Of course, it's washed. If we use it for seed or anything like that, but it just kind of stays placed back. We don't have it sitting out because kids love to play with this, and I don't want to lose these weights. But yeah, this is old, and it still gets inspected every year to make sure that it's the weights and standards out of the state to make sure it's balanced right. We're not cheating anybody, But,
what's the salt for right here, all this?
So this is for our farmers that raise hogs, and they use the salt to, they have to salt the hams down to cure them out, to keep them from spoiling. So we have the big 25-pound bags. It's used specifically for that. Oh, the pink flamingos. I ain't got any pink flamingos.
I was noticing that earlier.
I haven't
Where can you
displayed it.
find pink flamingos?
Yeah, you can get pink flamingos right here at Priddy's General Store. I haven't got them out and displayed them yet, but again, it's one of those little novelty things that people just kind of love that you can't find just anywhere. So yeah. And I sell like some stovepipe. Again, that's something they sold back in the day and that we still carry. Some of the stovepipe got a little bit of a display up there, but yeah. We don't sell it, any really, we spray paint, but not like the can paint. I mean, we actually we got a paint shaker over there, and it was a mixer that we mix paints in here and everything, just like, you go to the Home Depot or something like that, and they mix your paint up, you choose a color out, and there was that's really cool. I just like to go over there and put paint cans on. And see, I still paint some. Hadn't had a lot of time in the past few years. But we got my paint shaker over there. I mean, again, it's things that you use to make your life easy. But I would love to put my hand when it was shaking that paint, and it would shake your whole body, I still do that some. But, yeah. Y'all can come on up if y'all ready. This is John Ward. He's from the Appalachian Channel. He has a very successful YouTube channel.
We watch
So, yeah.
We do.
Yeah, so you guys are part of it.
wow.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah. Now, where are y'all from?
We are about 45 minutes on the other side of Siler City.
Wow.
Coming this way, yeah.
Y'all been hiking today? Been to Hanging
we
Rock?
have,
Or?
we got wet. We stopped down here by the river, by
Nice.
the bridge.
Beautiful.
And
Nice.
Cool off a little bit.
Yeah, had y'all been up here before?
we have. We do, once a year, maybe.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right here to this store is for our first time here.
Well, thank y'all
And
for
you have all
visiting.
beautiful stuff in here.
Well, thank you so much.
Very nice.
Stop by.
Thank
Yeah, we've seen
you.
it before when we drove by and we're like, we need to stop this time. It just
I
seems
hear-
so old school, so real.
It is
real
Yeah.
nice.
beautiful.
Back in the day.
Y'all are so kind. Yeah,
Y'all let some
beautiful.
country
Y'all
time.
are so kind. So
Thank
kind.
You, thank you,
You don't
very
get
much.
stores like this much anymore. Once family catches something, then it's passed down to the next generation. It's sold. So you don't get stores like this much anymore.
Yeah.
So it's a gem,
Thank you.
It
Thank you
really
so
is.
much.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, so I hear that a lot. We passed by here for years. It's like we didn't even know you were open because it just looks like an old building, and
Yeah.
if there's no cars parked out here, it just looks like a vacant, abandoned building somewhat because it's rusted ceiling,
Yes,
you know, I
ma'am,
mean,
yes,
not
ma'am.
ceiling, but rooftop and the paint. We're working on that. I got some people that are going to get mad at me. It's like, if you fix this place up and make it too pretty, we're not going to come back, but we got to preserve it.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
my turn to do the next
Restoration.
step there.
Yes, ma'am.
But I was
Yes,
like,
ma'am.
I'm not going to put some blinking neon sign out
Yeah,
there that
no.
takes away from the character of the
It
place.
won't.
So
It's really attracted us. Like we need to stop.
But it
and
does have to be babied and taken care of.
That's
It does.
true.
yes,
Yeah, it really does.
yes.
To preserve it.
Very nice stuff in here.
I love
Well,
it.
thank you. Is this your daughter?
It
is,
is, yeah.
How old are you?
10.
10.
Yes.
So what do you think about old stores like this?
It's cool.
Oh, thanks. So when young people like it and they say it's cool, that really touches me, because usually young people are all the, you know,
Yeah,
material
yeah,
things,
absolutely.
the worldly, the big mall stuff. But to hear
Absolutely.
young people appreciate it, we have hope in your
Yeah,
generation.
she is.
Yeah.
We love history. We love, going different places, and this is one of them. And
thank
we
you.
we really enjoy coming here.
Well,
So,
thank y'all so
very
much.
nice.
I appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
And I love country ham, so I found one
There's
up
some
here.
good stuff.
And it's very, I can tell already from the seal, it's very good.
So let me ask you something. I learned this from a customer. You ever grilled it on a charcoal grill?
I know, ma'am. We sure have it.
It takes it to a new level.
Oh, wow.
Very, very good. But it needs to, it's better on a charcoal grill. So we had a customer that would do a big party, Halloween party every year, and the thing that everybody went for, he would get a local ham. They would sit out, the guys would all sit out by the grill and grill the country ham, and I'd
wow.
never had it grilled like that before.
We normally put it in the
Yeah, the
pan,
front,
she
well,
puts it in the
it's
pan.
good too, but you can try it grilled too. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I like mine a
have
little bit burned and, you know,
Yeah,
I
dry.
would like to try it out though. It seems very delicious.
Yes, yes, yes. And you got any left over, you can season your pinto
Oh.
beans with it.
I really like it.
I used to make red-eyed gravy.
Yes.
Out the skillet.
Yes.
I
On
like
the
it.
hot
I
pot.
like this.
That's the only thing, if you grill it, you don't get the drippings
No,
for the
I
red
I
eye
like
gravy.
this with a biscuit and mustard and just.
Ooh, you're making me hungry.
Just eat it.
I'm sorry I don't have any homemade biscuit.
Especially if you find these right here in these local country stores, it's the best. It's the best. You will never find it nowhere else.
Well, that's what, like I said, you could buy that same brand at a Food Lion, but
Right.
people in their minds think it tastes better because they get it from an
It's not.
old general
Yeah.
store.
And it's the worst. Once you
Yeah.
refrigerate it, you have to continue
Yeah,
to
it's a mindset
It's
thing.
like
you
tomato
know.
when you go to a local
I was
store,
just saying
grocery
that.
store. You eat a tomato or avocado or something. It's not like you grow on it in your own. It tastes totally
Right.
different. It's so fresh, real
Right.
refreshing when
So,
you grow it yourself.
Yeah, people always talk about our tomatoes are pretty good year round, but I'm like, we never refrigerate our tomatoes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the refrigeration takes the flavor away from
Yeah,
it. So we
yeah.
always have really good tomatoes
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yes,
cool.
ma'am. It's very
Well,
glad
thank
and,
y'all so
You're
much.
very welcome. Very welcome.
Have you, and so pickle bologna,
Yes.
I don't know if we talked about that before, but when the Dutch Kettle, which they're out of Hamptonville, North Carolina, this company is, it's an Amish company,
is.
I think.
It is almost.
So I don't know if they just added it, but I was looking through their product list that
That
my
is-
distributor has. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so I'm like, I never heard of the pickle bologna before, and at first I was like, yeah, I don't know about this, but we sell so many bologna
Oh, we do
sandwiches.
pickle
I was like,
bologna,
I've got to
come
try
on.
this.
Oh,
This stuff is delicious.
And then they got
It
the
is
little
really,
small sausage bolognas that Dutch Kettle makes. Those are good too.
It was
You'll
very
sell
good.
those just special.
very good.
They're good.
Can you tell I'm hungry? It's what I tell everybody. Comes up here and buys this stuff, and they tempt me. They tempt me. Summer night. Summer's almost here.
yes, we'll definitely be back.
Well, thank y'all so much.
Absolutely.
And some nickel nick candy. Do y'all remember that growing up?
Yes,
I do, and
she
I
loves
love
it.
her.
So every time
So
we find them, we try to get.
We would try to get away with chewing it in class because we couldn't chew gum when we were in school. Oh, teacher, we're just chewing the wax from our candy.
Spit it
I don't
out.
care, spit it out. I always think about that with the
Yes,
nickel
ma'am.
nip candy. All right.
Beautiful stuff in here.
Well,
Very
thank
nice
you.
store.
So
Very
it's,
nice. You got very nice stuff in here.
well, I appreciate
You're
it.
very welcome.
It's authentic. It's original.
It is. It sure is. Very.
All right, there's your bag of goodies, and I'll take care of the 3 cents for you. And $10 is your change.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
y'all. Well,
thank
I'm
you, Miss
Jane.
Appalachia.
What
Thank
is
you
your
very
name?
much.
I'm Victoria.
Victoria.
Adelina.
Adelina.
And Mondo.
Mondo.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
nice to meet
Nice
y'all.
to meet you guys.
What a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Adelina.
Y'all have a blessed weekend, and we'll see you guys next time.
Sounds good.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good day, and y'all come back now, you hear? That's what the hillbilly said, wasn't it? Y'all come back now, you hear? Was that what the hillbilly said?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
Beverly Hillbillies.
Beverly Hillbillies, yeah. Y'all come back now, you hear? Oh,
Good morning.
Good morning.
come on up here, and I got a chair waiting for you.
Good. Can't beat that.
How are you this morning?
Good.
Now, normally, you know, Lowell's here on Wednesdays for our front porch devotions, but since it's a special day,
You want me to sit down here?
here, let's pull this up just a little bit there for you. Yeah, have a seat right there.
All right.
But this is how it kind of all started, didn't it, Lowell?
Huh?
This is kind of how it all started, right?
Yeah, just meeting up, just kept meeting.
And he came with his two brothers and his cousin, and it started inside the store. And
Yeah.
after the past few years, you know, we were all scared to be inside, so let's go outside, and it just worked out to something really good. And when it's warm and the weather's good, we'll sit out here and do front porch devotions, and it's growing, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
More people are showing up.
Comes and people hears about us and have some company most of the time on Wednesday. He needed a car, so she sold that van to him. She didn't like but $200 getting as much as I give my brother for it after we rode it several years.
But it allowed you guys to ride
Yeah, we
comfortably
got
together to travel and to come up here.
Man, that's a good deal. I'm glad I thought of that.
The Lord provided y'all transportation to get together and ride
Yeah,
comfortably to go to different places and spend time together with family.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
his
yeah.
brothers would get together, you know, that once a week, and
Yeah.
it was important for family to be together, and
And,
they echoed a lot of that to me and instilling that in me.
oh yeah. Well, a lot of things worked out good in my life. A lot of it I'm pretty proud of.
And you were talking about Bible study. I'm like, John, it's not Wednesday. It's not really Bible study, but that's okay. And as soon as he said that, Lowell shows up, which started Bible study.
Doing fine.
Now,
How
where are
you?
y'all from?
We're from Enochville, North Carolina.
From where?
Enochville, actually.
Spell it.
ENOCH.
Ville.
Now, is that
Annapolis.
It's actually
Eastern
outside of
Charlotte?
Kannapolis.
Charlotte. We're on the north side of Charlotte. We lived in Huntersville, which was north side of Charlotte, and they moved. When I grew up in Huntersville, it was Mayberry. We had one police officer, and now the farmers sold out to the kids, and you know what they done from that
Yeah.
point.
Money? It was all
Money.
about the money,
So
unfortunately.
we got 10, 12 housing developments, golf courses. I mean, Charlotte had just took over.
Right.
And I moved out of there and we went to Enochville, and now it's starting to grow in population now.
Well, success follows you, I guess,
No,
right?
well, I was hoping it wouldn't. But
So, how did y'all find out about Priddy?
Well, we go around to country stores, general stores.
That's all we do.
We pick one every once in a while to find out off the beaten path. And the last one we went to was in Saluda.
Yep.
And we've seen all the ones like Mass General Store and all that. So we pick one every once in a while.
This is my best friend. We're gonna change this. This is Mary Lou. I'm so glad she came. She's my first friend, best friend.
We grew up together here in this community.
Yes. We run around here riding horses and motorcycles. We prime tobacco. We play basketball together. We just talk about a great life. The men would come over. We'd play hide and seek out back, and just good times. And I went away to school, and we kind of lost track. And then we've just come reconnected. And well, some that might put those small things in there.
There you go.
Just want to keep these out. We can just leave these out here and do a count.
And I'll put them in the
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Jane,
Now you-
Mountain Dew, don't ever forget.
All right. I'll try not to.
Got two of
All right.
these.
So are y'all ready for me to ring you up
yeah,
now?
We'll ring up on that.
Okay.
That way you won't
All right. So we got 2 geraniums, middle, and a 4-pack. All right.
trash you and see you now.
2 geraniums. All right. 2 geraniums in a small pot. and a 4-pack, and some punchy monkeys.
Punchy monkey.
Show us how them work.
Are these for the grandkids?
Yeah.
So
They'll probably fight over which color the other one got.
I've never seen those.
so they're little soft punches, you know. They give little soft kiss punches.
That seems awful cheap on them. You got them priced right?
Well, you know, I'm just here to make a small. Just not. I don't mark it up like the big box stores, so I don't have as much overhead, I guess, as everybody else. So you guys want to get a soda, glass bottle, or?
Yeah, go ahead and ring up 2 drinks.
Okay, but I need to know.
Diet.
I got a Diet Cheerwine in a glass bottle. You want glass or plastic? I got Diet Pepsi, Diet Dr. Pepper in a plastic. You want plastic or glass?
I'll take a Diet Pepsi.
Okay.
Two Diet Pepsi.
In a plastic bottle?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So 3083. And welcome back. Did y'all hear that John was coming back today?
Yeah, I seen it on the channel, but I couldn't remember exactly where you was going to be and when.
I see you should have wrote the date down.
3083 is your total.
Somewhere.
We all picked a beautiful day to come out. All righty. All right, 83, 84, 85, 95. Yeah, I called Rosemary. Rosemary's having a yard sale today, so I don't know if she'll make it out to help me out or not, but I called and told her that you were not happy she was not here today. Thank y'all. You want a little bag for those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bag it. I'll go ahead and put them plants in the truck.
And we'll be back.
All right, there you
Probably
go.
be coming back to
Thank you.
check out here.
So there's a story back here about Laura and Jim, how they were just passing through the store a little over a year ago, and his wife had a dream of living in the mountains. They were from Seaboard, North Carolina. And he's like, we would love to live up here, but I need to find me a church. And I was like, well, I know of 2 other churches, and I made the connection, and about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, the church hired them and they moved up here, and her dream come true, and he's been a blessing. They show up for front porch devotions now on our Wednesday mornings, and that, you know, Laura was talking about folks being added to what he and his brother started up here on Wednesday mornings. So yeah, it's kind of cool. We are really having a family reunion today. This is so exciting. And you know, you're part of everybody that comes here is part of the family, right?
Well, it feels like I'm coming back to visit family every time I come here.
Well, that's what we want to do here. We want to make it feel like you've come back home. You want to go meet Jim and Laura?
Sure.
Come on.
Yeah, when we were up here on vacation, and it just came off the top of my head because I really wasn't looking, but I asked Jane if she knew any churches up this way looking for a pastor, and she said, yeah, I know one, and I gave her my name and number. I figured it would be in the trash before we got out of sight. About 3 weeks later, one of the deacons called me. One thing led to another, and we're happy to be up here now.
Well, that's something, ain't it?
It is. It's just one thing.
What brought you here the first trip, the first visit?
Just on vacation.
Just on vacation and looking for a small community, or?
Well, we were just, she used to come up here a lot.
My sisters lived up here about 30 years, so I knew the area and how pretty it was.
Yeah. Had you ever been to this store before?
Yes.
She had, I hadn't.
Yeah, how many years ago then, huh?
That was not that long ago. It was right before COVID.
Okay.
First time I came here.
Well.
And we just kind of kept in touch with Jane.
She seems to be good with that. She kind of keeps in touch with people, don't she?
Yes, she does.
She does.
Yes, she
She's
does.
a
And
wonderful person.
This store, you just step back in time when you come in here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to find places like this anymore, ain't it?
Very few and far between, yeah.
People have to drive a long ways to find something like this. I know I do.
Well, I encourage anybody that's coming up this way, be sure to stop by here and meet Jane.
Yeah.
Not just the store, but to be able to meet her and get to know her.
Store's one thing, but Jane's another.
Jane's another. She's a jewel.
For Bible study, and after he turned the camera off, I was like, well, we don't really do Bible study on Saturday mornings, but it's okay, just leave it. It's Wednesday mornings. And as soon as we said that, who rolls in but Lowell, who started the Bible study kind of thing here, the little front porch devotions as we call it. And then, gosh, who else was it that drove it? Was somebody else? I don't remember. It's been a crazy day so far. And, now that, Jim and Laura, who now are part of, as Lowell said, it's grown and we've got more people that come to the table now. So it's like, he was like, well, you want to re-video that or whatever? I was like, nah, just let it be. And then everything just rolled in and it's kind of turned into, I was like, we're going to have Bible study here today anyway. Whoa.
Well, Dan's going to come back hopefully this week and start coming with
us. Awesome. So you said it and it happened, John. So oh no, you started a new tradition here, I guess.
Get the whole crew here.
All right. You got to have some of that delicious Duke's mayonnaise, of course. Tomato. Onion. That's some strong onion. You smell that when I opened up that there?
No, we don't want onions on our sandwich.
Oh, that's right. I apologize for some reason.
I got to talk to people today.
They don't mind. It's good for you. Got to peel the tomato here. I don't think y'all ever had one of our bologna sandwiches.
Yeah.
Do y'all ever eat bologna?
Oh yeah, I love bologna.
Well, maybe one day I'll treat y'all.
I don't want no tomato on mine.
All right. You want some salt and pepper on that?
Yes, ma'am.
And of course, trusty old hickory butcher knife. Family heirloom. I don't know if my grandmother ever used it, but I know I can see my daddy's hands and my mama's hands. That's what I remember most, especially about my dad. I can see him back here whipping up a Dagwood special for somebody. Daddy would put everything on his sandwich, and when Daddy was in here, it was you just did a slice of bologna and mayonnaise. He never did tomato or onion or anything like that. And I don't even know. I guess we did have sliced cheese, but it was just simple. And then we had some construction workers come in here, and they wanted extra things on their sandwiches and stuff, and so it kind of grew. We don't really have a menu, kind of do, but they kind of help grow it into a little more of the Dagwood. We create what Daddy used to make, but he didn't really offer that to the customers. All right. So, John, let me get you some napkins here. I'm gonna run out of. Oh, here they are. Hadn't restocked.
I come in basically every Saturday.
Every Saturday? Yeah. You lived in this area for a while, or you
No,
knew?
I just got a little place up the road. I come and play.
He has a farm that it's like his retirement thing. He likes to ride a tractor around.
But it's amazing I'm not retired.
Not if you got a farm.
This is my son, Will, by the way.
Will, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So I met your daughter and wife last weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, someone has to make money for them to do what they want to do.
You guys got 2 kids?
What's that?
2 kids?
Yes.
2?
One
couldn't
costs money,
handle
one
it.
makes the money for them.
My daughter makes so much money.
So Will, what do you do?
I do his estimating and project management. So
Nice. And you guys get along really well working
No.
together?
as long as we're apart.
No.
That's what I tell folks when they come in here. If my sisters or somebody's in here, I'm like, we might get in a little something. I'm like, oh, just welcome to the family. You're a part of it. So it's like, how family members are. We're real and raw with them. They see us at our best.
I don't sugarcoat much.
Sometimes I want a DNA sample, but
On which one? The one that makes you money
Oh,
or
wait a
loses you
second.
money?
That one's mine. That one's yours. Can I wrap those and put
Yes,
them?
please.
Yes.
Did you get this?
I did.
Okay.
Okay. And it's, you see my little. So there's a story behind the earrings. I don't normally wear these dangly earrings here at work. Because, I'm really at work, and this is really reserved for special occasions. But there's a story about these earrings and a customer, and I'll share that with you in a minute. I'm going to wrap up his mugs, or I can just tell you I'll wrap his mugs up. So I had a customer that came in here and she had these earrings on. It was one of the first customers of the day. I was like, oh, I love your earrings. And I told her the story of how it reminds me of my granddaughter every time I see. So she went, dude,
Wow.
dude, she says, they're yours.
Wow.
So she gave them to me, and then I got to talking to them, and they were up here from down east somewhere. He was up here to do a wedding for somebody, and so I said, you can't walk out of here without a pair of earrings. So she went over to my little earring bin over there, and she picked out the cactus that was in there, and cactus reminds me of when John Luke was out in El Paso in the military.
I was looking at that. Yep.
And I was like, that reminds me of my granddaughter. She picked out a pair of earrings that reminded me of John Luke, so we'll drop those in there. So anyway, it's just all kinds of little stories in here. I don't know, maybe I should write a little book of all the little snippets and things that happen in here.
Of wild daisies on his property, and
He was all over them today.
Well, they've really popped out the past few days. I mean, it's like the fields are starting to fill up with these beautiful daisies.
I've seen like one or two off, but I never seen like a ton of them. And so, granted, I never really had a farm growing up, so now that
You know, it was funny. I brought him up, and we were sitting in the blind for the turkeys today. Didn't see a gobbler, but a hen comes out for 45 minutes in front of us. I mean, literally 10 yards.
I don't want to spook her and walk away, so I was like throwing the sticks, and finally she got up and like saw these sticks landing near her and like just walked away.
I mean,
that is crazy.
It laid there 10, 15 minutes, and we were in there laughing.
I was like, I think
because before you see them, they've already seen you, and they're like gone.
Yeah,
you know.
My wife got me for my birthday this blind from the top to the bottom. You can see out, but they can't see in. So old man like me, I had to get up, stretch my legs and stuff. They don't see it, and we were. And we were inside there laughing, going back and forth.
Yeah, she was just laying there, and I was like, "Is it normal for her?"
No.
I was like, I've never seen a turkey just lay down in the middle of the field. And like not lay down, like put his head down, but just lay there and just sit around.
In all my life, I've never seen that.
And I was like, Dad, I don't think she's leaving for a few hours.
That's why I'm like, it's God's country up here. Miraculous things happen here. I really believe that.
I love the country.
Oh my gosh, y'all! Thank y'all. Have a wonderful day. Is here, so they've been a part of Brother King's retreat, kind of, I guess or Freedom Baptist retreat. But Brother King is the one that built the picking porch back there where we have the music.
Oh, okay.
And he had a boys ranch up there, so the church is part of the property. So they just are leaving a wonderful little retreat. I guess y'all camped out up there, right? Awesome, awesome. Brother King still blessing us here, right?
That's right.
Yes. All right, and one of the honey straws too? Okay. It'll be $8.62.
What is that?
9, 10, and 20. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
A lost art, counting back money. A lost art.
My great nephew that helps me in here, he had to learn how to do that. He resisted a little bit in the beginning, but he can do it. And I'm like, you're doing something that most kids can't do.
Right.
All right, Jeremy, you're an artist with a chainsaw, huh?
Yes,
Chainsaw
sir.
artist. Jeremy is here today with some of his work that he's brought that Jane sells for him. And boy, those are beautiful. I just don't see how you get into this little bit of detail with a chainsaw, but boy, that's amazing. That'd be something to...
Just tedious work.
So, you said Jane sewed one of your first pieces?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just started carving, and then I was like, this turned out pretty good, and I brought it up here and showed it to her, and she immediately sold it for me. So,
well,
kind of got me started. I've been carving them ever since. Carve a lot of bears. I sell them all over locally, sell them at Jane's, online.
Bears sell the best?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I got lucky and was fortunate enough to meet Mountain Mike Ayers out in Maggie Valley.
Okay.
And then he kind of took me under his wing, lets me sell out there. So I sell a lot of bears in Maggie Valley, and then I naturally progressed over to Tennessee. I sell them over there.
What part's in Tennessee?
Cosby at Smoky Barefoot Carvers.
Okay.
And then that's Mountain Mike Whetstone Woodworks in Maggie Valley.
Okay.
Pretty much just keeps
So you're doing
me
this
busy.
full time now?
Oh, yes. I've been doing it full time for 3 years.
How long does it take you to make one of those?
It just depends on the detail and the size of it and what's involved. Something like this, I can make it turnkey in a day. You know, these little ones, I could probably do them in probably about an hour.
So what got you to pick up a chainsaw and start carving? Seen somebody else doing it or something?
I started watching whittling videos on YouTube, and I kept cutting myself, cutting my fingers with the knife. So I figured I'd go with the chainsaw. It'd be a little bit safer.
How about that?
Keep your hands away from the end of the blade.
It's all right. Tell me your name again.
Dion Christopher.
And your?
And Eulancine Christopher.
And y'all from Florida?
From Florida.
Up here visiting, having church?
That's right. Lots of church meeting.
Church meetings. Well, you showed up at the right time. Was you just getting ready to have a little Bible study over here?
All right.
You want to come over on the porch a minute?
Sure.
All right. You never been in the store yet, I don't guess.
No, we haven't been in the store yet.
Well, you go on in and walk around a little bit and look around, and we'll come on back out here and maybe somebody will break out a Bible and teach you something here in a minute.
Hey, the Bible's in our heart. We carry it with us everywhere we go.
Well, we got a good crowd here now.
Or some of it, not all of it. But
There's preachers around here everywhere. Go on in and look around. Yeah?
Yeah.
You pastor?
No. I'm the center in residence at our church.
Okay.
You need to ask John about how he started coming here. He's got a little story.
How'd you start coming here, John?
Oh, I don't know. It's about 20 years ago. We saw it, and we came, and Jane was just such a lovely person that, and the store really is almost a carbon copy of the store I grew up with in the 1940s. And I just absolutely loved it. And we brought people up on safari to see Jane, to see the store, to enjoy her ham sandwiches for, I don't know, 20, 25 years or so. And it's just been a wonderful, wonderful, deep and lasting relationship.
It's hard to find things like that, ain't it, nowadays?
Oh.
You go into these chain stores, they don't even know who you are, do they? And they don't care, do they?
No, they don't care. You're just a number.
That's right. Well, come on in. We'll hang out here for a little while.
All right.
So the beauty of our little get-togethers and Bible study is when everybody gathers together, we have conversation about things that are kind of on our heart, and we just talk, and it's different things. And it's always so cool, and it's like when you're a Christian, you wake up in the morning, it's part of life. It's, okay, God, what you got in store for me today? What's the adventure you're going to take me on today? Because you know He's going to carry it through, whether it's tough or whether it's good. That's the adventure of life as a Christian. It's wonderful. So we're sitting around always talking at the table, and I always like to look over at Lowell, and I'm like, all right, let's see what he's got for us today in today's devotion. And so often we sit there and read the devotion, and we're amazed because it taps right into what we were talking about that was on our heart. So today's April 27th. It says, "Come to me with empty hands, an open heart, ready to receive abundant blessings. I know the depth and the breadth of your neediness. Your life path has been difficult, draining you of strength. Come to me for nurture. Let me fill you up with my presence. I in you and you in me. My power flows most freely into weak ones aware of their need for me. Faltering steps of dependence are not lack of faith. They are links to my presence." And that comes from John 17:20 through 23 and Isaiah 40:29 through 31. So, Amen. So this little book has been amazing. And you know, she just passed away. You see how worn and torn it's been taped? I got little notes in here every now and then of when he was in the military, and just little, you know, I press flowers because of my granddaughter, who's named after a flower. But yeah, it's like a diary almost, but it's been a blessing. It really is. And that's just how God works. Look what he orchestrated here today. This is him.
Out here in the middle of nowhere.
And it starts off with John saying, let's go do Bible study. We don't do Bible study on Saturdays.
We did today.
Let's retake them. I'm like, nah, just let it be. And then my first, who started Bible study, as soon as he said that lull dries up, you know, and it's continued. And my beautiful Moravian friends and new friends and old friends, and y'all lift me up, keep me going, so thank y'all.
Thank you.
Amazing grace, how sweet
the sound
that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see. Wow. Wow.
I believe we just had church.
Y'all just made this front porch even more special. Look at that sign. Come to the porch with us. The drinks are cold and the friendship is free. I don't know what Bible verse it is. Maybe you guys can help, but about entertaining strangers, how they could be angels. That's something I really want to have up here, because connections, you know, just happen here all the time. You know, it's kind of amazing what is going on at this old general store.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Hartman family. Thank you, Grandma and Grandpa. Thank you, Mom and Daddy. Thank you, sisters.
So what's your guys' names?
Darren and Wendy Redding.
Yeah, so
From right here, Stokes County natives, over in the Mount Olive community.
Okay.
King area.
Okay.
We've known Jane for years, been coming up here all our life.
Yeah.
Best
well,
place to get a grape knee high and a sandwich.
Oh yeah?
Love this place.
Yeah, not many places like this around no more.
No.
So what do you like about it so much here?
Because it's old fashioned.
Old fashioned?
Reminds me of growing up. I remember the general stores when I was growing up and around the county.
Yeah.
So I'm old enough to remember that. So.
What do you think about Jane?
Oh, she's a jewel.
Nobody better.
Her and her family are great.
They are, ain't they?
That's why we come up here. Always good.
Well, thank you for leading us in the song.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
And there's always a little bit of everything in here.
Yeah.
You can find anything.
And you said something about Christmas now? What happened?
He always
Oh
comes
gosh,
up
I always
here.
come up here. Even on Christmas, she's up on Christmas Eve. I'll come up here and sit just to be here.
And he always buys me some
I heard a little
Christmas
something
from
extra for
over
Christmas
here.
when I'm here.
From James.
Yeah, just remind me of an old time for simpler.
I guess that makes that Christmas present a little bit more special knowing it came from here.
It
That's
does.
just local, so we want to support local.
That's right.
If it's Stokes County, that's where you need to be
Where he
packed.
gets his
spend any
overalls.
money. Yeah, that's right.
Gets his work boots from over here.
Yeah, lots of stuff. So.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we love Jane. We love Priddy store.
Absolutely. You need to come.
And we had sandwiches.
And I had a lemon pie.
So I haven't really officially given you guys anything like welcoming you here, so lunch was on me today. I don't think that I've given you a welcoming gift, so let lunch be your welcoming gift and a plant. How's that?
Thank you.
And this is 89 and
Right there between Wilmington and Myrtle Beach.
oh my gosh. So 30, 49 is your total. So your sandwiches and this is your welcoming gift.
Well, thank
Okay.
you. Do you have that, Laura? This is your welcome sandwiches and your welcome. Of course, I have great potato chips too now.
That's my backyard don't look like that.
It's out there.
Thank you. We'll see you, huh?
I love you guys.
Love you.
So I'm gonna miss y'all, but I think I'd really like to go and do it again if that's okay.
Okay.
Mother's Day, you gotta get your family.
This is Brent Byerly, and he has a business down in Thomasville called Be Your Own Fish. We're creative up here too. He brought me a t-shirt, and I decided to put it over a hoop cheese lid to distinguish where we have his incredible, cool, creative woodwork, and he repurposes a lot of things. But one of the most popular things that he does here that we sell more of than anything is these wooden nativities. And they have a lot of different themes to them, and he just does beautiful work. He does the cardinals, he does the river life, the fish here, angels, and we love the owls. We're a big owl fan up here too. And the bears, because we have, live bears around here roaming around. So we have Winnie the Pooh up here. Fella just came today, he's like, I'm going to help Dad put up a fence. I'm like, what are y'all getting some cows? And no, keeping the bears out, getting in the sun.
Is that what they named it, Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah. But Brent and Vonda, gosh, how many years I've been selling your stuff? 2, 3?
It's been longer than that. It's been several years. Since
Missions Pottery came in.
I was on the feature of 2018, and that's when I met you after that, because
David Weatherly with Fox 8.
Yeah.
And then Tommy Davis through Lexington,
Missions
the
Pottery,
Missions Pottery. We're connected through them down there too. So.
Well, we'd actually, I was looking, because we look for places like this, and we had looked up old country stores, and then I saw a feature or an article or something, and I told Vonda, I said, what are you doing Saturday? She said, no plans. I said, we're going to Danbury. Okay. So
did you just come up here out of the blue?
We came up here out of the blue. I wanted to see the store, because I'd heard so much about it and read about it, and then David said, hey, I want to mention your work to her. I thought, well, if I get a chance, I will. And I did, and I showed you the pictures, and you grabbed my arm and said, I got to have that. I said, what? She said, some everything.
Yeah.
So that's how that started, and you've moved a lot of product for me. So
yeah, it's been a great addition. Again, we try to do local stuff and handmade, unique, original stuff that you can't get at the big box stores. So he just kind of helped play into what I continue wanted to do here, support the local talent and craftsmanship, and share that with everybody that comes in here.
Well, good.
Yeah.
And plus, that's where I get my hoop cheese, so I have to come up the hill every once in a while.
It's like with everybody. It's like, well, they're just your customers, or they're just your vendors. No, they're our friends. They're good friends, and we come up. Not only we make a sale. I'm usually stressed out when he gets here, and by the time that few minutes gets in, I'm calmed down, because having to do the inventory and count, I get But anyway,
it's a good reset for us too.
Yeah, and we sit around and talk. You might get him a little something to eat, and we just kind of share what's on our heart. If there's anything that we can do to lift one another up, or just share some information to help us, step into tomorrow. That's what it's all about.
So get something to eat. Gotta have that.
And to be reminded of the wonderful gifts that we've been blessed with. So I'm trying to remember. I think you and Adam came in here a while back.
A year ago.
Yeah, and it was again just customers that come through, and maybe we talk a little bit. Well, about a month ago, he shows up again. I'm busy. Yeah. He's perusing around doing a little shopping, and we get to talk, and he reminds me of you guys coming by here, and he was talking about a book that you had written and was telling me all about it. And I love, again, local things, and the storyline was just perfect. And there may be some things in there that maybe reflect me as I read through as a character. I don't want to give away, but I lost my dad in a car accident 25 years ago, and life changed. And there's some similarities with what this character Adeline might be going through, and I'm just kind of seeing if there's anything there to connect me in my journey as 20. I'm almost 60 years old, and life is just beginning for me.
Yeah.
She's a lot younger than I am, the character, but anyway.
Yeah.
And again, we can all find similarities in people's lives that compare to ours. We're not alone in our struggles and trials and troubles, and it's nice to read and see how others go through things and bring goodness from it.
Yeah. So it's a 6-book series. This is the very first book, and the book is basically about a teenage girl that experiences a really terrific accident, and she ends up having to pick up and move across the state, start over somewhere new, and she is just devastated. But when she walks into the forest, she ends up meeting these 3 interesting characters that take her on these wild adventures. But they end up helping her discover who she is and who she's destined to become. And so this book is full of adventure, full of mystery. It's for all ages and especially for teenagers. Yep. And it was funny how Adam came in a month ago and the book wasn't even published. And Jane was like, well, I want it as soon as it was published, which was like the next week.
Gotta have it.
Yeah, so this is the first book, and it is available now here at Priddy's and also on Amazon.
And he brought the first shipment in, so to speak, and he left them lying right here at this corner of this counter, and they've not moved. Now this is the 3rd shipment.
Yeah. Thank you for selling.
You're welcome. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to sell them. Yeah. And it's like, I didn't really know them that well, and now it's like, and you guys come out today, and it's like, we're just building our little friends, you know. Yep. We don't do Facebook. We just click right on here at Priddy's General Store to build our friend base.
Yeah, well, it works.
Yeah. We like face to face.
Yeah.
But we like books too.
So, Lord have mercy.
How long have y'all been selling overhauls, Jane?
Oh my gosh, since the store's been in business. I mean,
Really?
as far as I know. And we started out with a Porter brand line, and they changed who they basically sold to. And so we found out about Roundhouse, which is made in Oklahoma by a family up there. So, these
are shorter.
No, this is yours. Yours is shorter than these. No, they're not. They're the same. Yours aren't that out. They're the same. I'm not. I don't make these. I'm not the manufacturer. But the way that these things differ is in the length of the bottom part. So I don't really understand what's going on there.
I'll get him.
But with that being said, that's yours.
Yeah.
Debbie Fuchetti, who lives behind the courthouse, the historic courthouse, will fix that for you. She is an amazing seamstress.
Mom will do it.
Okay. All right.
She's
All right.
She's been sewing the last 2 or 3 days.
Well, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm glad you still like them. I don't understand about the little that for there, but I don't know.
I'll just get it shortened up. That's all. I just didn't know if they sold differently.
Not in the gals.
That's all I was going to check on. Yeah, I love them. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And see you later.
All right.
Bye. This is Trout. And gosh, your family moved here when was it the 90s?
2005? No.
From Georgia for RJR.
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Back in 2005,
he
we
went
moved
to
up here.
school with our kids. Great athlete, Just grew up in the area here. I guess for the most part. Yeah,
decent.
good kids. He met some really good people here in Swiss County, and he's still friends with them. So I'm gonna let him tell you. What have you been doing today? So he lives in Winston-Salem now, which is about 35-40 minutes from here.
So what I've been doing today? Let's see. So woke up from Winston, drove up to go see my parents right up the road on Pitzer. Then I decided I wanted to go trout fishing, so I just went trout fishing, and now I'm getting ready to go back and clean them, and then go see my buddy I went to high school with right up the street, and go hang out with his little boys and his little boy and his little girl, play some video games, stuff like that, kick it like old times. And
Relationship, fellowship, and it continues on. It was instilled in these young people. I love it.
So apparently you like to trout fish.
Yes, sir. I love any kind of fishing, honestly. Bass fishing is honestly where it's at for me. But I get down on anything except for probably carp and cat fishing. Yeah, which is the main thing around here. But everything else, so yeah, I got a hand in it for sure.
You got a secret place you go trout fishing?
That I want to tell the videos? No, ma'am.
No. We'll talk about that later.
No,
but I know you have to protect.
I just go up in Westville. Yeah, right up there where they stock it. I can't think of the name of the road, but just right up there. You know.
Near the mill.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, Flipping Mill. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. So like the trout fishing on the river here is much better up towards the Virginia line.
Yeah.
So yeah, good trout fishing up there. Pristine, clean waters that we have here. We're so blessed.
Is that the Dan River or?
Yes, sir.
It's ridiculous. Okay, so we got 5 of those at 9 cents. Penny candy, that's 9 cents each now. 2 honey sticks, 2 ginger cuts, and blackberry preserves. Biscuits or toast or bagels?
I'm actually going to try that on a recipe for some trout I'm going to do.
Oh, a glaze.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my
Last time I did a fig glaze on the trout I cooked for the parents, and they absolutely loved it. So we're kind of running out on it. So this time, and I forgot to pick up some at the farmer's market this morning. So this time I'm going to try blackberry glaze and see how that works out.
We need to do a recipe, but you need to put that recipe in here. Man, that sounds good. Oh my
They went
gosh.
crazy for it last time, so we're going to see what turns out this time.
That is really good. But yeah, we have to water these flowers twice a day, morning and evening. And this is something that my mom and I, we kind of fight over doing. She loved watering the plants. I'm getting the hot water out right now if you're wondering what I'm doing, so I don't scald the plants. But she loved watering the plants. It's kind of therapeutic, you know.
Have you always sowed plants every spring?
Yes, yeah. We kept, again, when Dad was here, we had people that would come by and we would sell some plants. This has expanded. We do more of the plants now. And again, that's because of my mom, that she loved flowers. And we, you know, every season we go up in Virginia, the nursery's up there, and I mean, she couldn't wait. You know, she just loved her flowers, and she loved her pink geraniums, and that's what she loved most. Mandevillas, I don't have any of those right now. They'll come before Mother's Day, but they're a trellising plant, and it just adds beauty, you know. This is my favorite time of the year. I'm just like so glad that you're here in springtime, and it's just our favorite time of the year here. It's, you know, everything just kind of starts coming back to life, so to speak. All right, I got to get this one up here. But that's, you know, the only thing. It's, you know, you're really slow in January and February. March starts picking up. And then April rolls around and it's like you're working 10 and 12 hours a day, you know, and going to get plants, and then you got extra chores to do. But it's enjoyable. I enjoy doing it.
Is these scales something that you all used at the store?
Yeah, so mainly these were used to like to weigh country hams and things on, and people would come over here and weigh on them. I did have something sitting on there. I actually just moved. I moved the plants off from over there and put on there, but yeah, they still work. And but a lot of people would weigh their country hams and things on it. Was mainly what I think maybe they used it for.
Did you sell the hams here at one time?
I think so. My uncles and my dad, they were in the country ham business. I did have an uncle that was his livelihood. But again, these boys grew up, you know, the Depression. My dad was 5 when the Depression hit. The other boys were, you know, older than him, like 10, 12, 13, 14. So they were entrepreneurs. You know, they had to find a way to survive. But they did. They cured back behind the old house. They built ham houses over there. So they hung in nails. There's nails upstairs in the upstairs of the store. I know that they hung hams up there probably for curing purposes too. Maybe before they built the ham houses over there or something. But again, they dabble. My dad dabbled in all kinds of stuff. You know, like I said, from trying to make gasohol to, you know, the repair business was his money flow, and he did little things on the side, wheeling and dealing.
So tell us about the gasohol. What did your dad do with that? You talked about that earlier. Explain that a little bit better.
He had a steel set up over there in that ham house. I mean, he ran it through. He used the corn that he grew to make it, and I'm sure he ran some drinkable stuff through it. I mean, I'm sure he did. And but he had dreams of you know, a big outfit, doing that.
Making ethanol.
Yeah, and he just dabbled in a lot of stuff. And my dad, he just had a really good engineering kind of mind, and he just, again, the making a living kept him from doing what the world would say would be bigger and better things as the world looks at it. But what he did here was important in a world's small way of looking at it. He kept people's chainsaws going. He kept their lawnmowers going. He sold chainsaws and lawnmowers. You got to mow your yard. You got to cut wood to burn and to keep your house warm and stuff. And he repaired stuff, He kept things going for people. And then he provided, the store here for needs for food and clothes and other things. So that was really important, But he could have done, I know he could have done much bigger things. So he made the gas hall, right? And I remember us going to the beach, and I remember right here, we'd always pull up here, the gas tank's right there. We'd fill the car up, before we, leave to go to the beach and everything. And the car would always be in the garage. He's changing the oil in it and everything. But I remember right here seeing, it was like, had the hood lid, the hood up, and there was a little bottle in there with a little little plastic line, and he supplemented the gas lining through the carburetor with this ethanol, this gasohol they called it, back then. And we went to the beach, and it worked. I don't know what difference of the mileage that it make. I wasn't really into that as a young child, wanting to know, well, did it help your gas mileage or anything? But it worked. He actually did it. But it stayed in its infancy stage. It never grew into it, but he dabbled in it, and then other people dabbled in it. And look, you go to the gas stations now, and every time you fill up, it's part ethanol. And my dad had a play in that and seeing that it would work, and it's kind of cool. Yeah. But there's a book in there in that drawer that talks about making it and stuff, So I mean, he got all the information that he needed to do it, and then he just set it up. He built the steel. I don't know what you would call. I don't know what else you would call it.
Now, did he have to get a license to do that?
Yes, he had to get a permit from the state to do that. It was it was done legally. Yeah, that was in the 70s. But again, he was always like selling chainsaws and stuff and lawnmowers, and he'd trade out with stuff. That was the fun thing about. He traded something for a go-kart one time. We had a go-kart growing up. He traded for motorcycles, and I had a dirt bike growing up, The one thing that he traded for and he didn't keep very long was a pony. And that pony bucked me off behind that store back there, and my daddy thought he was going to get on it and break that pony. That pony bucked him off and broke his glasses, and that was it. That pony's hooves went in the ground about that far. My daddy came off of that pony, and that pony was gone the next week. That guy came back and picked up his pony. It wasn't staying around here any longer.
That pony didn't want to be rode, did it?
Right. I mean, Dad, he had a motorcycle. He had an Indian motorcycle growing up, which I thought was pretty cool. But he traded probably for a motorcycle, and we rode motorcycles some. He had, it was a street bike, and I just sold that to a young man back in October. He's going to restore it, so that was kind of cool. Yeah. Be back around, hopefully soon. But yeah, she lives over the other side of it. That's where we grew up. That was a house that Daddy built for Mom, but. Gosh, the gnats are really bad here. But see, there's the old farmhouse that the Hartmans built and lived in. They never lived in the upstairs of the store like a lot of store owners did. But you see that huge walnut tree that's to the back of it. So it's grown up right there in the front. You can't really see, but those block ham houses, there's like 4 buildings back there behind. That's where the ham houses were. And then in one of them was where, he had set up that steel, to make the gasohol. And I had some of the deputies and stuff would come up here for sandwiches. They've retired now, but they're like, you need a coffee shop in here, Jane. And, He's like, make it look like a steel and run the coffee through the copper tubing and stuff. I'm like, man, that's a great idea. But I'm like, the bad thing is like, I'd have to get up earlier. And I'm like, I can't do that, guys. I just can't do that. But I'm like, that's a great idea, right? To set up a coffee shop, make it look like a steel. Somebody will steal that idea. No pun intended. So this is my little garden area here. I've started to plant a few things. I got a little broccoli right there and some tomato plants. And I'll get some jalapeno plants in here. And when I make sandwiches, sometimes I'll come out here and get some jalapenos and put some fresh jalapenos on your sandwich. It's really good. This is an elderberry bush. I don't know if you've ever heard of elderberry bushes or not.
I've heard of elderberry wine.
So it really helps to boost your immune system. And see, I would love to get into growing a garden and canning and making all kinds of tinctures and stuff myself. But, you know, just like my dad, you have dreams of doing all things. Or you're just here kind of, you know, trying to make a living. So, but yeah, there's where the old McCulloch sign, it hung off of that right there. And that's a light fixture there that he had it indirectly lit up at night. I would love to have seen how that sign would look lit up at night in the dark. I would love to. And I don't know, this old garage is in bad shape. I don't know how much longer it's going to last. I feel like we're probably going to have to tear it down one day, and it's heartbreaking, but things just don't last forever, you know. But Dad built this in the 50s. And it helped make a living for us, you know. Put food on the table. We got to go on vacation once a year. We had everything we needed, and if we wanted more, he made us work for it, and we'd go buy it ourselves. But he'd still fuss at us. So Levi's, you know, when I was in high school, Levi's was the thing. You know, Daddy sold Maverick jeans. And Daddy was like, you just wear what we sell. And I'm like, Dad, that's not cool. You know? I remember buying my first pair of Levi jeans at a Paul and Rose's store out in Winston-Salem. Yeah. So anything that wasn't in the store, if we wanted it, we had to work and earn our money to buy it. And like I said, he always fussed. He's like, you need to be wearing stuff that we sell in the store. And I'm kind of like that today. At least I've got these on, but I don't sell running shoes anymore. And I don't sell Levi's, but at least I sell this. So. But again, he grew up in the Depression, and my dad wasn't about, you know, material things and being in style. It was all about just survival, and these are mines that in the fall. I'm like my dad. I don't throw anything away. Come back. I've got some. I just keep watering them and see if they'll come back. These right here, I'm not sure what these bushes are called, but they get beautiful purple berries on them. You can see where they dried here, that they're purple, about this color as a matter of fact. My mom and I, this was something that we purchased when we went up to the nursery, and we never could decide where we were going to plant them, and they just stayed here beside the garage, and they've rooted in, so they're And this is something, again, my mom, you know, did. And watered these flowers, and she was always here to help out. And here's the old truck that's just been sitting here since Daddy died. We learned how to drive in this old thing, and came from Iowa. And I mean, down there's where I grew up. This was the front yard. We played softball in it, and all the yard back there. We ran through the pastures and played hide and seek. But this was where I grew up. Yeah, the old pear tree's still here. We used to have an apple tree right there. There's a persimmon tree back there. Mom, bless her heart, she wanted to cut it down. So I just want to see more of the sky. I'm like, Mama, that's a food source. We might need it someday. I got persimmons off of it for the first time last year. The guys cut the growth that was around it that I could actually access it. There's walnut trees. We got a lot of walnut trees that my grandparents, and then back here in the backyard. And you know, I'm all about food sources, and just in case, you know. I like to go out grazing, you know, when things are in season. I just pick things off of the trees or the bushes and eat them. I love those pears. I don't know what kind of pear tree that is, but that pear tree's been here my whole life. So hopefully it'll bear a lot of fruit this year. But yeah. This is the closing routine here. Gotta turn all the individual lights off. So I get my workout when I come in, and I get my workout when I leave. Turn the old lights down. Oh, so I really like this when I turn this one out. And that shining there. I love that. When I leave, I just love that look right there. It's so old-timey, you know. I can just see the lamp burning. That's why when I'm late, wait, give me just a second, give me a few minutes to get all the lights and everything on. Gotta move all this. Close up the old door. And usually I pop down back here and say a little prayer and give thanks for the day. So, so let me turn these lights off. That's the day at Priddy's General Store. Hard work, but very satisfying. Very good day. Closed up. The day is done. I'm gonna flip these little signs around. So close when the sun goes down. Sun's going down. Thank you, Lord. It's been a great day. Thank y'all for visiting with us again so much. I'll see you guys next time. Oh, and I didn't get to mention all the names of the folks that I wanted to mention, but hey, Kathy out there in Kentucky, and oh my goodness, and Mike up there in Michigan. All the Appalachian Channel family. I love you. May God continue to bless you. Keep the prayers coming. As you can see, I need it after the crazy day, but y'all get me through. And I thank you very, very much. So I'll see you guys next time.